Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We got a list of 9 properties today. It's nice to be on video. It's been a pretty crazy week around here. We've got a couple of great listings coming out next week. We're just finalizing the purchases, and I will let you know about those usually before they hit the MLS system. We have the buyer class tonight. Normally I'm promoting that, but we had basically, even a week ago, it was basically filled up, and that should be a good time. We've got local and regional councillor Colin Best coming and talking about some of the new developments. There's been a lot of talk about what's happening south of Louis St. Laurent in the Boyne survey, and I will try and get that on camera if at all possible. If not, you can always reach out to us. We've got a lot of things to share about what the town would look like a year from now, 5 years from now. We're doing our 3rd annual flight probably sometime in the fall, and we'll have a chance to see the completed velodrome and a lot of other great projects around town. So let's get to the list today. And so we've got 8 on the Toronto system, and then we've got 1 more on the Oakville system. If you just started to watch these videos, what happens is we have 2 different MLS systems in Milton that overlap data. So to get the full experience of properties is you have to connect to both systems. So this one here is at 6020 Dairy Road and hardwood floors. It's called a current model, 1195 square feet. We have seen current sell for $360, but mostly when we've seen them above, there's a flower in the corner. When we've seen them above $360, it's because they don't have the common area fees. So this one here had about $90 a month extra that you'd pay. Now, a mortgage payment representative of $90 a month probably translates on the other side to an extra $10,000 or $15,000 on a purchase price. So I look at this one as it's almost like paying for a current model above $370 in the other areas. And so people pay it. I don't see a lot of benefit beyond maybe a little bit of snow removal. They say that they mow the lawns, but they don't really do it that much. So just be careful and do your research about what you're actually getting for your extra maintenance fees. It's still considered a freehold home. It's not a condo per se, but the road is considered a common element, and so you pay into that process for garbage and snow removal. So Sauve, or Sauve, or however people say it, 449 townhouse, 1630 square feet without a finished basement. You've got some hardwood floors. That's just sloppy right there. That's not hard to fix. Upside down stairs. You back onto a pond here, and I guess you could use that as like a home office. And so the school is just down the road, and there's one missing piece of the puzzle that I wanted to tell you about. So this area here, there's Sauve right there. There's Dairy Road. We've got the IA, which is our McColson School. So that's institutional zoning. This is a zoning map on the GIS system, and so you can do the overlays, you can do the aerial photos, you can do so then you switch over to the bylaws and see how things are all set up. This is Greenbelt A and B right here. There's kind of a natural tributary right here, and so RHD is residential high density. So if you go over to Google and you type in RHD and then the star and then 96, you're going to see a document. The very first one is the Summerwood Tech Report. It looks like, and I don't believe I see a signature here, it looks like the RHD star 96, so that's kind of an amendment to the zoning. It says that it could be a 5-story plan, so I'm not sure if it is 5 stories. I would assume it would be 5 stories or more at this stage in the game, but you can do a lot of research just based on all of these tools here. So the home is right here, and so you're about 10 doors down from what will be an apartment building. It's just a question from my eyes of how tall that's actually going to be. Anyway, $449 for a townhouse. It is nice. It's joined on both sides. It has 9-foot ceilings, but to me, I don't know, that price seems a little bit high. They get the bonus for the pond. I have no doubt they're going to get somewhere between the $430 and $450 range. It's just a question of where it's going to fall. Cartmore Way is $474.9. These are big townhouses. They've got deeper lots, but they have the sloping berm So there's train tracks right behind this home. Inside, it doesn't feel like a townhouse. It's quite big inside, 4 bedrooms. They've got a finished basement. I have a feeling I sold this home years ago when it was first built, and it was actually a bank sale. We sold it for TD Bank. So it's either this one or one of the neighbors. It's been a long time. So $474 for the size doesn't seem that far off, but it's still, you have options. You can buy detached homes at $475. Bar Crescent's $562. You've got what looks like an 8-foot ceiling here. This model, the Sterling, makes a big difference when you've got a 9-foot ceiling, a finished basement. It would have made sense to put a stove in here. I don't know why they didn't do that. And then you've got a pretty standard sized lot, 36 by just over 80 feet. And it's a good floor plan. I like when they separate the living dining room, because when it's just one combined room, you're kind of limited on what you can do. But because you've got the front living room here plus the dining, this room could be a home office. It could be a kids' playroom. A lot of people just put a gate there and they completely keep the kids in that room to just do whatever they need to do. You can have a quiet reading area, a second room for guests, all kinds of things there that I think would be helpful. Here's the thing about a basement apartment is you don't have the parking provisions here to have a true legal basement apartment. So it's just an in-law suite. Like, where are you going to park a car if a tenant has a car? You've got one driveway space plus you have one garage space. That's probably the trickiest thing about this one. The price doesn't seem too bad for that model plus a finished basement. They do sometimes creep up there, but it's still maybe a little bit on the high side. Kelman Court is $585, and I think this is called an L model. It's a little bit hard to tell from the pictures here. It's less than 2,000 square feet, more than 1,500. Separate dining room, family plus kitchen. We've got a loft upstairs plus 3 bedrooms. And a nice balance. We talked about this last week about how you probably want no more than 50% of your yard if you're doing a deck or a patio, basically for that purpose. You want to leave some green space. If you're going full out and you have no grass in the yard, you're going to lose buyers. From a resale perspective, very safe to do. They've kept it nice and private with the pergola here. Very, very nice. Good stuff. $585. I would say that you can find, there's one that just listed today. We're going to review it tomorrow. It's a Quincy Corner. I would take the Quincy over this one, even though they're holding back on offers and trying to get competition. I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. Pettit Trail, I believe this one's around 2,200 square feet, 2,300 square feet. More of a natural finish floor. There's some California shutters. This is one of those homes where I see a lot of potential. You've got your basement, 5th bedroom here, and it doesn't look like the whole basement's finished. It looks like the one room, and then you're a 36 by 100 foot lot, and it's a nice quiet street. I like the location a lot, and I like the price too. I think they've got a good price there. Holmes is $664, so we're about just over 2,700 square feet. It certainly looks move-in ready. A bit of a lighter color scheme, but I think they've done a good job in the kitchen. And nice size rooms. That's all customized. You don't see that in a lot of the new homes. Glass shower. So the master ensuite looks like they've done some very nice work on it. And you've got privacy. You've got basically fence plus trees behind. Very private. Good looking space for kids to play. And for that reason, I definitely give this one a thumbs up. I bet you this one sells in a week or less. I think it's very, very good. So Kincardine is $727, 300 square feet larger than the previous one. I don't know if that's builder finished or if it's aftermarket, having the separate entrance to the basement. Now we're talking about there is driveway provisions in something like this if you did want to have a basement suite. Inside doesn't overly impress me, and the price doesn't really either. We've got Timber Place is the last one on the Oakville Milton board. And so it's a Hillsview model. It's 1,510 square feet. We have seen the Hillsview hit around 440, and usually when we see that, it's got to be very nice. So this one certainly qualifies. You've got the brick wall. The fact that you've got these little sort of highlight pot lights here, I think really it gives you the nice shadow effect on the stone, crown moldings, custom light fixtures, and it's certainly impressive. This one, you'd walk in and you definitely feel like, hey, this is one of the best homes I'd see in the price range. You also see homes that are a little bit bigger. So you've got that one, like for example, you've got the one on Sauve for $449. I'd take this one over Sauve, even though the privacy factor on Sauve or Sauve is a little bit better. This one's 10,000 less. So it's all what's important to you. It's the right size, the right layout. And it's interesting, when you look at the studies, the number one reason that people choose a realtor is not to try and find, or to search for homes, it's to find the home. And when they've done surveys across the board, so you have lots of options to search for homes, even on our site, on many other sites. We try and give you some interpretation here. But the consultation process and saying, okay, listening and saying, okay, I think I know the right place for you, that's where we really can add some value, is being able to suggest things that you may not know about. And even if something's not on the market, that we can say, hey, you know what, it's going to come, no problem. And to even go actively hunt. We've got a lady on our team, Annette, who full-time basically looks for new opportunities for people to buy. So if they identify that they want Old Milton double garage, and that goes out, we highlight the streets on the map and we say, let's go to it. Let's write a letter saying we've got someone who wants to buy the home. So that's being proactive. That's treating a buy or a sell as if we're going to be beheaded, which I think is of real benefit to our clients. So if you want to learn more about that, 905-693-9346, or you can always just send me an email. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.